gag me, take me to the bunny ranch. People dying, kill me in the packing house. Even you have to...
So, hey! Welcome to the Bunny Ears Podcast. I am your host, Emmanuel Lewis. That's who I am. No, I mean, I'm Macaulay Culkin, and this week we have a very, very special guest. He actually emptied all of his pockets onto my table before he showed up.
So I could do some yoga on your lawn.
I know you have a money clip with your initials on it.
Uh-huh.
You got your wallet. You actually is that your nail clipper?
Yeah.
Okay, because I actually need a nail clipper. I'm not going to use yours. No.
You can if you want.
Just hygiene and so forth.
I'm compulsive. I'm constantly picking at my nails, so I keep a nail clip around.
You're one of those people. I know.
Yeah.
I get it.
Especially on airplanes and long car rides from San Diego.
So here's our guest, Mr. Jeff Ross. Woo! Hold on.
Thank you.
That
was him spanking me.
Yes, there you go. And you actually just came back from Comic-Con. God bless you. God bless you for coming. Like this is a man who came straight from Comic-Con. Like, didn't even go home.
No,
he still has Comic-Con gear. Wait, hold on a second. Is that how you actually dressed for Comic-Con?
No, it's how I dressed for the walk around the exhibit hall. For 20 minutes before it became overwhelming, got in the car and drove up to you.
Oh, there you go.
Thinking it would take 3 hours, but it took like 5.
Yeah, no. Welcome to fucking the drive from LA to San Diego. Yeah.
But it was fun. I'd never been to Comic-Con.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to ask, what are you doing there?
I was there for a panel. I'm in the cast of Crank Yankers coming back on Comedy Central.
Holy shit, that's coming back.
Yeah, and it's really funny. I saw some of the rough footage of some of the prank phone calls from Tracy Morgan and Chelsea Peretti and Bobby Moynihan, and they're all really fucking hilarious.
Well, that's fucking cool. I actually didn't even know until you just told me.
Yeah, and I made a few prank calls too. It was fun.
Well, I was going to say, no, you were on the panel just for no reason.
Yeah.
I figured.
It was good. It was good. And I'd never been to Comic-Con. I kind of liked the vibe. It was fun.
Did you see some cool costumes?
Yes. I would have to say Comic-Con has the largest per capita amount of scantily clad fat people I've ever seen.
Right. Bursting from the seams kind of thing.
Yeah. You hear that plane? That's a whole plane full of action figures headed to Comic-Con right now. They're just going to drop them all over the beach in San Diego.
Yeah, it's like, I didn't realize that Cyclops was that big.
Oh, what a nice day back here.
I know. Listen, okay, so Mr. Jeff Ross showed up at my place, and he came straight from Comic-Con, and the first thing he did was he got into my front yard and did downward dog.
Yeah.
So you yoga, man?
I do yoga after long flights, long rides, before a big performance. I try to just get my shoes off, get my phone off, and center myself and relax a little bit.
Yeah. Because you also did it just in my backyard. You did my front yard and backyard.
Me and the gnome, I get it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I get the gnome joke. I love it.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, thank you.
Very clever.
Thank you. That was me.
Do your listeners know about that?
I'm not sure if they do, but yeah, you describe it actually.
I mean, I walk out and there's this gorgeous house and animals, and I go through your private office to the back, and there's this beautiful lawn that one would assume a man of your caliber would have, and this luscious lawn. There's only one thing on it. In the middle of the lawn is a gnome. And I didn't think much of it, and then as I did yoga spinning around your lawn, I was like, oh, gnome alone.
There it is.
And I'm not usually one to pick up those kind of...
But you found it.
I love how you you own your persona like no other.
Oh, grassy ass and Mercy Buttercups.
You came right out with the Emmanuel Lewis joke, and when you were on my podcast, you made a great joke. My cousin Ed was the largest baby born in Florida, and he was bragging about the press he got when he was born 15 pounds, like 30-something years ago. And you said, well, from one child star to another.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah. It was great. It was great.
You made it. And
I'm happy to be here at your place.
And thanks for coming. I know. I could tell. I knew on a better day you wouldn't have, you wouldn't cancel, and you didn't want to cancel.
And I'll tell you even one more thing. And I'm not trying to brag or nothing, but I had a whole extra night in this beautiful hotel room at Comic-Con and just left it. I could have just stayed.
Specifically for this?
I didn't want to cancel. And one of the reasons I didn't want to cancel is because you were gracious enough to do my podcast. But furthermore, I was replacing somebody on the Crank Yankers panel who flaked on them last minute. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be that person. So bunny ears.
Oh, yeah, bunny ears. Yeah.
It's always been my dream.
Yeah, exactly.
Ever since I was a little boy growing up in the flower patch to be on the Bunny Ears podcast.
Oh, yes, the Bunny Ears podcast. Like, yeah, exactly. Like, yeah. You know he's doing it next week? Well, I mean, at least recording-wise. I'm not sure what we're going to air in what order. Is Mr. Bob Saget.
Oh, gosh.
I know, right?
Well, now you're really moving up in the world.
I know. What a get.
I'm the warm-up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, do you have history of Bob?
Bob's one of my dear pals. I consider him a brother in my life.
It seems like everybody on the circuit knows him. Like, well, I mean, just,
Bob is a delight. He's one of the funniest, most sincere, great with advice, grounded, but yet has a giant-size ego to match his giant-size abilities, which have given him a giant-size career. So it's all, he's earned it all.
Yeah, exactly. It's all the right size, I guess.
Yeah, Saget is a king in the comedy world.
Yeah.
And not just for his stand-up, but also just the way he carries himself and cares about other comics and people, and he's a great guy.
Did they do a one of those roasts of Bob Saget, right?
Yeah, the best part about that is that you have me over here and you couldn't remember the word roast.
Yeah, no, exactly, no.
That's the one.
What's that word?
People call me Jeff Roast. That's how it's. And then you. We did one for Saget, and it was great because.
I mean, he's asking for it too.
It was a true comedy roast because it was mostly other comedians that really love Bob that showed up. Mm-hmm. It was really fun.
Yeah, I mean, there's something awkward about like the Justin Bieber ones, like that kind of thing. Like that one feels a little awkward.
Well, it was a hard hitting roast.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Hard hitting, I think, is the right way to put it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's also you look at the old Dean Martin roasts. It's usually they're roasting their friends. Like, are you friends with Justin Bieber?
I became friendly with him
since then, or because of that.
Because of that.
Yeah. Gotcha.
In the process of him going.
But usually,
I really want to be roasted. He loves a roast. He's different. He was 21 at the time. Yeah. He'd gotten in some publicity trouble and other weird stuff, and so,
I know this was his bounce back a little bit.
So I like, what, he seems like a nice kid. His manager was down with it, so I was like, all right, you know what, let's do it. And then as I got to know him, I really started to like him, and he even invited me to one of his concerts. And I don't know if you've ever seen Justin Bieber live in concert.
I have not. Did you?
But it's very emotional.
You went?
Halfway through the concert, I got my period for the first time.
There it is. Yeah. No, he's that's the thing is that I felt like it was a part of his publicity tour or his like kind of.
Yeah, well, he knew he had a good album coming up, and.
He had bad press, and then honestly, when I heard that they were going to do a roast of him, I was like, bravo.
Yeah.
No, for real, because honestly, he's the butt of all the jokes to begin with. Anyway.
I don't see you sitting for that kind of treatment.
But that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I mean. Bravo to the kid.
And he every time I see him, he gives me a hug and says it was the greatest thing that ever happened to him.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's the greatest thing?
Well, he loved it. Is what he's saying.
There you go. Yeah, no, I know. I'm just messing with you.
It really did sort of set that album up to blast off.
Yeah, no, bravo. You also did you do?
I said he was the King Joffrey of pop.
There you go.
I said everybody, Justin, everyone's been pointing their fingers at you lately, and those are just lesbians telling the barber how they want their haircuts.
That's there you go.
I had some good ones.
That's you did good. You did good. Who would have known? Who Who would have known? The king of roasts.
See, now you're on board.
Yeah, now I'm on the trolley. You pretty much have done almost all of the Comedy Central roasts. So
Not all of them, but most of them. We have Alec Baldwin next up.
That one's happening?
That one's happening in the fall. It's going to be really, really fun.
He's asking for it.
He really is.
He's a good sense of humor, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know him well. We're neighbors in New York, so I know him, sort of a little bit. We're friendly. But I'm curious to see what his rebuttal will be, because he's a very funny guy and outspoken guy.
Well, he's actually one of the few people who has I say it's the Culkin punch card. Mm-hmm. He's worked with Kieran and Rory and Mack.
Wow.
Yeah. So he's actually gotten all three of us.
What did you guys do together?
We actually did the Gaffigan show together.
Oh, okay.
So, it's funny. Gaffigan, the way he would write those scripts, where it's kind of just like, he'd write a script for me, essentially, and say Macaulay Culkin and random celebrity. And then I could tell Alec Baldwin got Alec Baldwin and random celebrity.
Right.
And it'd be the same scene.
Right.
And next thing you know, we're together. And here's the thing. Okay, Alec Baldwin has a rep a little bit of being not necessarily difficult per se, but just kind of just...
intense.
Abrasive, maybe.
Right.
Put it that way. Intense, yes. So here's the thing, is that every time I've interacted with him... Okay, there are people in this world, when they see me, they sometimes they turn into a 9-year-old. Because they see the 9-year-old in me.
Right.
So next thing you know, and Alec Baldwin's one of those kind of people who is like, when they saw him on the call sheet, people were like, oh God, it's Alec Baldwin. Oh God, he's going to, he's going to be a dick or whatever. And as soon as he sees me, he's like, oh my God, here's my wife. Here, please see my wife. And just, he turns into a 9-year-old every time he sees me, because he only sees me as a 9-year-old, which actually totally works. And stuff like that. So he's actually honestly, I've never worked with him outside of those bounds, but he's been a treat and a delight every time I've seen that guy.
I love that. So that's good to know.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go hard on him.
Yes. No, go for him.
I'm going to go hard.
Are you kidding me? The dude's asking for it. Are you kidding me? Listen, I actually have love and admiration for the guy. For the same time, no, he's...
Hey, it's a roast, bro. He can handle it.
Well, it's the thing. You're freaking king of the roasts right here.
I love that.
Yeah. And I mean, is that something you cultivated, or did that just fall in your lap?
Nothing falls in your lap. Come on.
What I'm asking is that did it just fall on you after a particular roast, or did it just happen?
No, it was very gradual.
Yeah?
It was very, very gradual. I never knew where it was leading to, or if it was ever going to be worth it, or if roast would stay in vogue, if roast could be more meaningful than just making fun of celebrity in a tuxedo. There were always questions. There was always sort of an unknown that I was working towards, but I just loved the roast so much that I was willing to take whatever came with it. Because when you make fun of people, you can tend to have a reputation for being mean or hurting people's feelings.
Easy,
and I guess I've stepped on a few toes over the years, but for the most part, I have mostly friends in the business. I don't have too many people that are too mad at me.
Yeah.
It's hard, though.
Yeah, no shit.
Because a lot of times I'll think of jokes that are way too mean for the situation.
I was going to ask you what your process is. For real. You got, just put something on a platter. Like John Stamos. Okay, you got John Stamos. We're going to do a roast to him.
John Stamos is an easy one. Because the only times I've ever roasted John Stamos are when he specifically asked me to roast him at his birthday party or his wedding. So when you have that sort of invite, it's a license to kill.
Okay, how about Miley Cyrus?
That would be...
Okay, someone you haven't met before, really, right?
That would be fun.
Okay, yeah. So they put that on your platter, right?
Yeah.
They put that, so what's your process? No, for real. Do you just sit there and just go through things? Do you go through the Wikipedia page?
For right now,
do you have a team that you bounce things off of?
For right now, for Alec Baldwin,
yeah,
I have an Alec Baldwin keychain on my keys. My cousin Ed, who you've met actually, buys stuff off Amazon. There's an Alec Baldwin big shirtless hairy poster in my driving spot, right where I park my car, in my garage. There's Alec Baldwin movies and DVDs all over the house.
Are these just constant reminders for you to write jokes?
It's method roasting. I'm going to read his book. I'm going to watch
roasting.
I'm going to watch his movies. I'm going to go deep into Alec Baldwin's body of work and what makes him roastable.
And so you just go through that, and then
I watched The Hunt for Red October the other day.
Yeah, and
It doesn't hold up for me.
Really, it doesn't. I mean, of all those Jack Ryan movies,
Yeah.
actually, it's still my favorite. You know? I mean, it's also kind of weird that what's his face? Sean Connery is the only person that doesn't have a Russian accent.
It's crazy.
Yeah, he's doing full brogue.
I actually enjoyed it a lot.
See, there you go. See,
Yeah, I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah, I
And
know.
I was getting in roast mode. You know how it is.
Yeah, exactly. Like, well, do you have any Jack Ryan jokes? I'm not saying. Listen, I know you're.
That's a
saving,
good area.
I'm just saying you're saving material, obviously. But
But this is the research. I still have some weeks before the show, so this is the part where I'm still in the research and development. Like, what am I really roasting here? Alec Baldwin is very accomplished, and I've seen him on Broadway and plays and stuff, so I can speak as a fan.
Yeah, exactly. I'm speaking as a fan.
Yeah.
But I mean, so you bounce things off of your boys, like that kind of stuff.
Not just boys and girls, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like yes, I mean a unisexual boys.
Yeah,
but yes,
of course. I understood what you meant, but I'm making it clear that I try to bring in the fan's perspective, and especially with Alec Baldwin, he's such a heartthrob. From way back in the day, he was on like Knots Landing and shit like that. Like you really want to tap into what made him a sex symbol and how he's just barely better looking than the other three brothers.
My website, Bunny Ears, it's over 60% women, and same thing with our demographics or analytics, like when it comes to ladies.
So imagine. Well, in writers' room now, you have to realize you have to go out of your way to explain that you have a diverse writers' room, because if you don't, people will assume you don't.
Yeah,
and comics get criticized for that.
I mean, because it is kind of a white men's profession,
right?
I mean that's
every movie was always
cliche.
Jewish guys in a comedy writers' room.
So, are you Jewish?
I am.
You are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Jewish, but I wouldn't say I'm a practicing Jew.
You're ethnic Jewish kind of thing. Like yes, yeah.
Love bagels and I spit when I talk.
Okay, so. Listen, like I actually don't do this with my guests, like Wikipedia their pages. I did not do that with you. You're not Boston.
New Jersey.
See, that's what I thought. Like I was gonna get close. I was like, because you're not New York and you're not Boston and you're not Philly.
I went to college in Boston.
There you go. Where'd you go?
I lived there for 4 years.
Where'd you go?
Boston University.
You went to BU?
Yeah.
There you go.
I was a film major with a minor in political science.
How's that minor helped you out?
It's good. It fuels comedy.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
You can't talk about. You have to talk about all things. So it's good. I thought it'd be good to have a well-rounded education.
Yeah, there you go. Yes, I mean that goes for everybody out there in the Bunny Ears community. Make sure you have a well-rounded.
Well, like I went to film school, right? You can understand, and then immediately when you get there, they make me take like biology and Spanish and political science and all these other classes, and I'm like, wait, I did this in high school. These are not the classes I'm good at. Chemistry, like I want to follow the film program and write and direct and those kinds of things. And then
I thought I did this in high school. Yeah.
But then you get into it, you realize, oh, you know what? You can't make films about making films. You have to make films about chemistry and Spanish and history and political science.
It's like, oh shit, they're trying to make you a well-rounded individual.
Yeah, right. And it took a minute to figure that out when I was a kid, but eventually I added political science to my film major, and it's paid off because I love thinking about politics.
Well, I mean, I'm yeah, exactly. It's anything that makes you a well-rounded person makes you well-rounded.
What about you? What do you get your news? Do you get it off the internet? Do you watch?
I look at Yahoo's. I look at that maybe. I don't know. Like, listen, all the news right nowadays is commentary on things.
I mean, if you didn't look me up before your podcast, I can't imagine you're researching the top 20 people running for the Democratic.
No, there's 20 of them. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait a minute. I'm just gonna wait this out. Yeah, just a second. I've heard of this person, but give it a second.
Let's sit it out.
Sometimes I read the headlines and things like that. But here's what I'll say: is I used to be a news junkie.
Yeah.
And then it became very much an us versus them kind of situation. And especially I guess CNN and Fox is the perfect kind of dynamic kind of thing. And how about this? How about you just tell me the news? Don't tell me how to think about the news.
I love that.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I've been looking for. Is honestly, tell
me what happened. Don't tell me how I'm supposed to feel about it.
I'll look at the AP feed. That's what I'll do. It's no, tell me if
such a good idea.
What happened over there, and boom, stop telling me how Donald Trump thinks about it or whatever.
Right.
It's it's a big turnoff. News isn't news anymore. I mean, it's the movie network. It's network, except come to fruition.
Mm-hmm. When at what point in your life were you a news junkie?
Probably early 2000s. I mean, we're talking, I guess 15 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
But remember CNN headline news?
Yeah.
Remember they had the little scroll at the bottom?
Yeah.
And that was a novel, unique thing.
Yeah.
And it was just literally the headlines. Not who responds. It was kind of just bombing and so.
And then boom, it's gone because now we have Twitter and a 24-hour. It's almost like a 25-hour news cycle.
Exactly.
Because there's more. They have to leave some. It's just anything's a story.
No, it's thank you, Anderson Cooper, for your opinion on this. But for real, at the end of the day, I kind of just want to figure out how I feel about these kind of things. And I understand editorials, but the old school kind of newspaper format, which was here are the things that happened, and now here's an editorial that tells you.
I'm glad you're saying this because I think it's important to remember.
Yeah,
news used to be much more objective.
News used to be news.
And that is something that I learned in my well-rounded education at Boston University.
Oh, right. There you go. Yeah. Did you ever hear that rumor, which is not true? Not rumor, but whatever. It's news is north, east, west, south.
No.
It's all directions. North. North, east, west, south. That's what news stands for. And you know what? No, that actually, it just...
I like that.
Yeah, I kind of like that too, but it's a fallacy. It's not. I'm
going to figure out a better logic for that to be true. There's got to be a reason.
Yeah. Actually, this is a good spot for us to take a quick break. It's
why?
Because I have dynamic ads.
Commercials?
Dynamic ads.
You read them? You have to read them now?
No.
You read them later?
No. Someone else is going to do it.
I hope they're for pants. You've been wearing pajamas.
I know, but that's the thing. This is why I never leave my house.
I want all the listeners to know that Mack is dressed like he's going to paint the bathroom in his new house.
I know. And you know what? I dress like this every day. I only leave my house maybe about once a week, and I dress like this.
He's dressed like an assistant yoga instructor.
And honestly, the whole time he's describing it, I'm just touching my legs.
He's literally, I'm not even kidding, he's wearing a pink headband to get his hair out of his face.
Yep.
A Devon Sawa t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
Oh, he's an actor.
And he's wearing flannel Christmas snowman pajama bottoms.
No, I'm going to correct you. It's my girlfriend's Christmas snowman pajamas.
Right. It's July.
Yep.
So he either doesn't care what he wears or he hasn't changed since Christmas.
So listen, I have to cut to a stupid ad.
All right.
If you guys are in a different market, you guys actually won't get any ads. So we'll actually just pick up exactly where we left off. So.
Hello, and welcome to Meditation Minute. I'm your guide, Louis Prada. Come with me as we take a journey to the wild side of being calm. After perusing the internet for a few hours to figure out what people like, since according to my download numbers it's clearly not this show, I've determined that people love pranks. I'm out here in the street getting ready to prank an unsuspecting stranger with a surprise meditation. It's gonna be great. Okay, wait, here we go. There's a guy right up ahead. It's gonna be so good. Ready? Okay, here we go. Hey. Oh, man. Oh, I pranked that guy so good. Oh, should have seen the look on his face. He was like, "Oh, what?" He was like, "Oh, is this guy meditating here now? Really?" Ooh, what a rush! Oh my god, this is so much fun. Okay. I think I got another good one here. There's a lady right here. I'm gonna prank her. Ready? Okay, here we go. Hey. What did the dyslexic cow say? What? Oh. What? Oh, she got tainted. Oh, she got tainted so hard. Oh, God. Oh, wait. There's another guy right here. Okay, wait. I'm gonna do him right now. Ready? Okay, here we go. Hey, man. How you doing? Not bad. Yourself? I'm all right. Hey, are you meditating near me? I mean, yeah. So you're gonna come into my personal space and soak up all my spiritual energies? It was just a joke. Oh, so the practice of reconnecting with my center and relinquishing all attachments is just a joke to you? No. You see, I'm a guided meditation instructor. Oh, hey, don't swing at me. It's just a prank. Prank? Yeah, from my meditation podcast. I'm Louis Prada, Meditation Minute. Maybe you know it? Oh, yeah. I know you. Now I really want to hit you. Come here. Oh, God, no.
Get over here and get your ass whooped. Get over here.
I hope this guided meditation is brought you the serenity you seek.
Get over here, man.
My name is Louis Prada. This has been Meditation Minute.
Meditation, boy. Come get your ass whooped. Come on.
Here I am, a bunny ears. Sorry I'm late. Thank God I'm here.
Thank God you're here.
Mack's wearing pajamas. There's a gnome in the middle of the lawn all by itself. It's a gnome alone. Here I am in the yard. Why are you dressed like a... Anyway.
Sandwich. I know we took this time on this break Stir Frost decided to tune my guitar.
I wanted to tune your guitar because I was there when you bought this guitar at the Scleroderma Research Foundation benefit that Bob Saget was hosting, because I'm reminded as I look at his autograph on the guitar. It's also autographed by Taylor Swift and
John Mayer, John Stamos, Bob Saget himself,
Norman
Lear, and you know what I did when I came home?
Yeah,
I signed it myself.
And Jonathan Taylor Thomas, it looks like.
And also I got Esther Pavitsky. You know Esther? You know little Esther?
Of course.
Yeah, I just had her on last week.
Yeah. She's a good friend of mine. I saw her last night.
Oh, yeah, no, she's a ball and a biscuit.
Yeah.
You know, she's doing the show Dollface with my lady, and Kat Jennings right now.
Oh, cool.
And she's fun. She was actually an episode of their show, and she was actually one of the few people who actually would play with me on set.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, improvise kind of thing.
Esther's very funny, super funny. We worked together at the Comedy Store.
Yeah, it seems like that's kind of her home a little bit. Yeah, because I saw I guess it was like a 10-15 minute kind of like her, that routine, stuff like that.
Yeah.
She never took her coat off.
Right.
It was great. She just walked up. She was like, "Oh, hey, good to see you," and then she just walked up in her coat.
It's a stop by. It's a drive by.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so how'd you get into comedy?
How did I get into it?
Yeah, man.
I'm from New Jersey.
So you're naturally hilarious.
It's like everybody's a comedian. Everybody busts balls, and you have to be able to take a joke and have thick skin. You got to be able to dish it out and take it.
But I mean, none of those people actually get up on stage and actually freaking do it. You know what I'm saying? So what's the difference between you and everyone else?
I had a friend in my life. I mean, I was looking for a creative outlet. I was not really sure what I wanted to do and what I wanted to be. I was a creative person with no mission, essentially, no outlet, sort of all over the place. And my buddy Mark Chapin, my college buddy, suggested a stand-up comedy class taught by a guy named Lee Frank, who's a comedy writer. And I liked it right away. It was an outlet. It was just a way to
So you took the class and
express
actually,
myself.
And it worked?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Just trying out 5 minutes of jokes at the class, and
You type 5, yeah.
and then not a tight 5, a sloppy, terrible 5.
Yeah, sloppy 5.
And then that evolved into trying it at open mics, and eventually getting on stage in front of strangers, and eventually getting opening spots and paid gigs, and
Okay,
here I am.
From there.
Here I am.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It gets bigger and bigger.
It's day by day, though. It doesn't even get bigger. It grows.
Well,
You know, like
well,
it grows, it
gets big-
expands.
that's another way of saying
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, but it never feels. You never feel the increments. They barely. You really have to take your time and enjoy those moments. Otherwise, they kind of.
But
They're small. You have to really learn to recognize them.
But there also must be those times where all of a sudden you're headlining your own thing, though. I mean,
Yeah.
like, you must feel like, I've gone from, third spot to second spot,
Right.
First spot.
And
Like,
those
those are moments that you can actually mark.
Right. I don't make a big deal. Usually, I'll make a mental note.
I can tell you're being modest.
Because if you make a big thing out of it, when things go bad, it puts too much.
Yeah.
I always try to enjoy the process, and I mean that I never get too happy when things are going well. So when they go bad, I never get too sad. So I try to mark the good things. Like 30 years in comedy now. April 1st was my 30th anniversary, so I did mark that with a
Congratulations.
little get together. But for the most part, I remember every gig, every night, every joke. So it's like watching a drip fill up a swimming pool.
Do you enjoy more the times that the joke landed more than you do remember the times where you fucking bombed? Where you fucking bombed like hard as balls?
That's a great question.
Which one do you... No, honestly, when you're laying down in bed,
The bombs.
the bombs.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, because those are scars,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You know, every now and then you lay back and you think about your favorite orgasm, but those scars, they don't go, they don't fade. They're always right there on the top of your body, top of your mind, top of your skin. So you remember those bombs, yeah.
No, it does the same thing to me.
I made fun of some lady at Comic-Con. I went a little too far. I could feel it. And I was
Ooh. You feel like you cut her a little too deep kind of thing?
yeah, I asked her. She got up to ask a question, and I asked her what her cat's name was, just like randomly. She looked like a cat lady. And she stopped mid-sentence and started crying.
Oh, my God.
Because I guess her cat just died
Was that today?
yesterday.
Oh, yesterday. Oh, Jesus.
So, lady, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
Sorry, cat lady. Like, no. But, but you still remember those ones from when you were a kid on stage.
Yeah.
You remember that more
Yeah.
than when you first
Yeah, you remember those rough
killed it.
spots.
Yeah. No, I
But you remember those early laughs, too. If I didn't get laughs right away the first time, I don't know if I would have had a second night. You know, I really fed off the sound of the crack of the laugh. It's like getting a hit in a
course.
baseball game or something, you know?
Yeah.
You know, when you get a big laugh, it's like swoosh. You hear that. It's like sports.
Cool. Do that again next
Swoosh.
week. You know.
Yeah. Or in an hour when you do the late show.
And when did you decide to actually do this thing? No, go on the road, do the whole thing. That you actually justify this.
It took me. I never justified it. I always thought of it as a hobby, but it was an escape from having to get some kind of normal corporate job or production
no
job.
cubicles for you. Okay.
Yeah. And if or more like I would have had a job at either doing something like that in sales, or I would have been in the catering business.
I was going to say, what would you have done?
Right, I would have been in the catering business.
Really? Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, you like to cook?
But my whole family, my whole generations of my family were
It
caterers.
just would have been easy.
It would have been. That just would have been what I would have been doing. So I'm like, I have to do something, and comedy was like an escape almost. It was like a gravitational pull of like, oh, I can express myself creatively. I can have a social life. Maybe I'll meet women. Maybe I'll have a way to like get out of New Jersey.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with New Jersey, but I knew there was more.
No, but yeah, exactly. Yeah. But so they say it takes 10 years. 10 years.
Hold on, we're being bombed by the Russians.
Yeah, right. Here we go. Here's a plane. Actually,
Mother, do you think they like this song?
Actually,
we're like living in a Pink Floyd album.
There was actually a low-flying military plane came over our house today.
Really?
Had nothing to do with me. I'm 90% sure.
Right.
90. But yeah, no, we got a little bit of that going on earlier on today. So yeah, but they say it takes 10 years for a stand-up to find their feet. Do you find that true?
Say a comic 10 years?
Yeah, to find their feet.
Yeah, and for some, I think it takes longer.
Yeah, I mean, and
sometimes so I've seen comics work through an entire persona to get to who they really are going to be on stage. It's fascinating sometimes.
Like, especially if they have a character or something like that.
Yeah, a character, or some people will stop or start talking about politics, or they'll have a near-death experience and suddenly their comedy evolves. You saw that with Tig Notaro, who got sick, and that became the fuel for her act.
Yeah.
And so that stuff happens too. I mean, I hope that doesn't happen to me in that way. I'm glad she's okay.
I can almost kill you right now if you want me to.
Yeah, right. So, you never know where it's going to take you,
Mm-hmm.
Comedy's great. I mean, there's a lot. It's hard.
Have you seen the people that have come, like sooner than that? Or, that kind of... I mean, did you see, Dane Cook on the circuit for, 10 years?
Of course.
Yeah.
That's why that's why I'm not a hater. I know how hard Dane works.
Yeah.
He's out there every night since we're young.
Yeah.
Making it happen.
Yeah.
You can't take that away from anybody.
Yeah. No, I mean, honestly.
I don't care who you are. You're not making it unless you really put the work in.
Yeah. Being
a nice guy helps, I think. And being fair and reasonable with people helps.
But also people, I mean, do you have experience with poaching?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, you always hear people.
Do you have any example?
People stealing my jokes?
What's that guy's name? Dan something or other.
I don't know. But
I
never worry too much about it.
But you've had some poachers?
Yeah, and it hurts when you're starting out, but now at this stage, if they steal my thing, they sound like me, and that's not really great for them.
I mean, is that a cardinal sin?
Yeah.
That's the cardinal sin.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you should really start poaching from other comedians.
Yeah, you're a jerk.
Yeah.
And everyone knows that.
But I mean, but the thing is, do you get blackballed though?
Some do.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
You get a lot less friends if you steal jokes. No one trusts you. Nobody wants to invite you to their festival. Nobody wants you on their bill. But nobody wants to perform while you're in the back of the room.
But there's also people who also will still get their freaking, will still get signed. People who don't know about stand-up will still sign so-and-so.
Yeah, I mean, show business is crazy like that. Mm-hmm. But, I don't know. Yeah. I couldn't put my mind in the...
I know.
I can't put my mind in a framework
I can tell
where...
you don't want to.
No, I mean, who would want to... I'm just saying...
You don't want to, and you don't want to.
No, I mean, I wouldn't want to be a person who steals jokes to get ahead. I would just be so tortured by that.
But have you ever listened to other comedians and think that, I can build on that?
No.
No?
No.
You don't listen to, I don't know, whatever.
No, when I watch a comedian, whether it's a new comedian, usually I think of it as, if I think I can build on that, it's more like I see how that person could fit into something in the future maybe that I'm doing. I go, wow, that's a unique voice. I could see that person, being on one of the roasts or in the writer's room on one of my shows. Mm-hmm. I see people for themselves, I see comics for their whole persona, not just one or two jokes that they do. Honestly, if I really thought about it, I don't even listen to the jokes. I watch, the way they play.
I was going to say, how often actually do you watch other comedians?
Not very often.
I was going to say, you didn't really strike me
very rarely. But I will sort of casually observe, almost like watching the crowd watch them.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
That's what I mean.
I'll go in the back
the
and
reactions.
Yeah,
you're
and
actually watching the crowd.
Who came to see them? Is it couples? Is it this? Is it that? And I get a feel for who they are that way. And when I get their voice, when I start to understand someone's voice, like I can name a dozen comedians I love, but I don't know their jokes. But I know what they're about. I know what they're saying in the world. I know what they're capable of. I know that their comedy is in a direction that's making the world a safer place.
Okay, how would you look? Okay, how do you grow a joke from the ground up? You know, I mean, like for real. I mean, is it just something that's a silly fancy that like runs past your mind, where it's like, oh, here's like
there's a couple ways.
Nancy Pelosi
one way,
just said
the
something.
easy one is like conversation.
Gotcha.
Someone, I'm in the car driving home from Comic-Con, and my buddy and I start talking about Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah.
And, you just sort of go whatever comes to your mind, like you say, like in conversation. Like, wouldn't it be crazy if we found out in the Mueller report that she's been fucking Donald Trump this entire time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you go, well, there's an easy, obvious twist on Nancy Pelosi that'll probably get a laugh. But if I sit down at a computer or and with a notebook, or I'm sitting in the shower going like, Nancy Pelosi, like I really admire her, but I do think she's slipping up in a couple places. My mission right now is to write a joke about Nancy Pelosi. Then it would be a much more thoughtful, planned out thing,
And you feel like you can do both?
Yeah.
Some of it's off the cuff, and
Yeah.
some of it's actually like constructed.
Right.
Where you're in the shower with your laptop,
Right.
writing the thing.
Well, if it's a good joke, I don't need to write it down.
Yeah.
If it's a really good joke, like I have a couple in my head that I can't do today for Alec Baldwin already. I know I'm not going to forget them.
Yes.
Like
Gotcha.
they're so priceless to me. I almost don't say them to my friends even.
Yeah. Because you don't want to. Yeah. Exactly.
I don't want anyone involved with the roast hearing my takes.
Yeah. No,
It's fun. It really is like going to battle.
Yeah, believe me, I have a nice tight five, and you know what? Most of my friends around me already know my tight five already at this point.
The next time David
God bless
Attell
my
and
girlfriend.
when David Attell and I are doing bumping mics next time in Hollywood, you really have to come.
All right, fine.
We would totally rock star it up with you, man.
All right,
It'd
cool.
be so fun.
I'll do it.
It would be so fun because you can hold your own. You have a sense of humor.
Oh, actually, it was one of those things where it was the first time we met was at the scleroderma thing. Yeah, and it was went outside to have a smoke together.
Right.
And it was
That was fun.
Yeah, it was fun, and it was
We were all dressed up at the Beverly Fancy Hotel.
I'm the Beverly Fancy, yes, and you went outside for a smoke, and you were like, oh, you're a funny guy,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh,
Well, you were cracking me up.
well, praise from Caesar, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's like there you go, like
Yeah,
believe
you were
me.
cracking me up.
Yeah, believe me, I went home and I was like, honey, Jeff Ross thinks I'm funny.
And she said, "Who's Jeff Ross?"
Jeffrey Ross.
Oh.
Oh, that Ross.
Oh,
yeah.
so you did Wikipedia me.
Yeah, no,
That's all the research you did. How to spell my name.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah. Honestly, I still don't know how to spell
It's real working out for
it.
you.
Still don't even know how to spell it. Yeah. So yeah. So anything else you're working on right now? I mean, just like I know you're working on the Alec Baldwin because you tour. I mean, you probably tour all the time.
Yeah. I start again in August. I'll be in Bow, Washington. I'll be in Charlotte in the fall. I'll be in Huntington, New York at the Paramount Theater. They're all bumping mic dates. So I'm like in a band basically with David Tell.
Yeah.
Where we go on together.
Oh, okay, cool.
We're like Donnie and Marie.
How's David Tell? I've actually never met the guy.
He's the greatest.
Yeah, he seems like an East Coaster drunkard.
Yeah.
So I think we'd probably get along.
Yeah. His mind, he literally thinks in punchlines. And he's amazing. He's really, truly fucking amazing. And he raises my game, and I love him to death.
Isn't that great when you're actually with somebody? You can kind of ping pong just who's the funniest guy in the room, and it's one-upsmanship.
Yeah, and he always wins, which I'm okay with because he should win. Like, he's the best. And the reason I do it is because he's the best. But it's like when you play tennis with a great tennis player, when Dave is like on fire, like sometimes I'll just literally step off to the side of the stage, sit in a chair, and just watch him just like rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat go. He's amazing. I'm stretching.
I know. I noticed you stood up during this.
I'm at one with my surroundings.
Oh,
right
it was like I thought like there was something about Dave Attell that made you want to stand up.
Oh, maybe you're right.
Yeah, I know.
I missed him so much. I started to go into like performing bumping mics mode.
But did you notice I gave you the 10-foot mic, so you can actually go anywhere you want, really, like in this backyard. Yeah.
Can I shit in the hot tub?
Yeah, honestly, our pool guy came yesterday, so I would probably wait. I'd wait, But honestly, we actually also got a new little pool net thing.
Is that a barbecue cover or is Vern Troyer buried in there?
Oh, look at you. Look at you. Are you already... No, I'm roasting him.
Hey, see, I told you. You got to riff with us. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm going to charge my phone on your charger.
Okay, how about this? This is actually a perfect time for a break, and you can do some downward dog in my backyard.
Why do you keep taking breaks?
Because I have to.
Are you doing a bump in the bathroom?
No, we do bumps. No, we do bumps for the fucking for the podcast, and like every 20 minutes I do this.
Who sponsors this fucking podcast?
It's a thing. Hold on, I'll explain it to you after this bump. All right. So I'm gonna light this for you. We're in California. This is totally legal.
Totally legal?
Totally legal.
You're not supposed to snort a joint. Are you okay?
It's legal. Yeah, no, I'm fine.
What about those pajamas? Are those legal?
Yep, no, they're totally legal. Yeah, there we go. So, Jeff Rust, you're a comedian, right?
Yeah. I used to be till today.
Yeah, exactly. And then you just gave up.
Now I'm the rabbit tail on bunny ears.
How many dates do you do a year?
Well, Sheila, Laura, Tanya.
Oh, this is Mambo number 5? Is that what you're talking?
A little bit of Cleveland's all I need.
A little.
I'll be in Huntington October 4th.
How many dates do you do a year?
It varies. I go when I'm in California or New York, I'll go on, probably like even 3, 4, 5 nights a week, just when I'm home.
Yeah.
But then when I'm touring, sometimes I'll go out like, it's never more than a couple nights in a row, and I would say I probably do like 100 gigs a year.
So I mean,
maybe not even.
You're talking about foreign gigs.
Oh, I've done foreign gigs too.
Well, I'm just saying, like nights on the road.
Maybe like 100.
How many? Yeah, about 100 nights a year. Yeah. You're not sleeping in your own bed. How about that?
Right.
So that's about right.
Yeah.
So
probably less. It's probably less than that.
Okay. So
but here's the deeper issue is that I've purposely and never added it up. People always say, how much time do you? People always been, and I've asked myself that question and go, you know what? I think I don't want to know. I love it, and if I start analyzing it as this objective chart, it might make me paranoid.
As an objective adult,
and I'll go, oh, I'm not getting enough out of my life and my house, and I miss New York, and why am I bi-coastal? But the truth is, I really do love being a comedian. When I take a gig, it's because I really want to do that gig or be in that place.
I was gonna say, I don't
do stuff I don't want to do anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And what's your version of settling down?
Ooh.
I mean, are you already kind of like? You feel like you're kind of there, or like what do you want, man? What do you want?
I feel like I'm not settled down. No, I feel like I'm still in the.
What do you want? Okay,
still sort of swimming upstream.
Yeah. It's like
That's how I feel. One day, would I love
lady house, dog, pool, like all that.
I'd love to
stuff,
retire. A lot of people say, oh, they want to do comedy till they're old. I would love to meet somebody who has their own, says like, let's live in New Jersey for a while, or Cleveland, or Paris, and or she has a career and I have to stay home and take care of everything else. I'd be totally fine with that.
Well, what would you like to do at the end of your life? I mean, like, look, I think I might want to breed cats.
Oh.
Yeah, like, honestly, like, yeah, look out, like, the twilight of my life, I'm actually going to have a little, like, cat breeding center.
Really?
Yeah. I'll make a homepage for it and everything. It'll be great.
I love that. When you're old?
Yeah.
So then we have that in common because I also want to be surrounded by pussy.
Hey, look at you and shabang. Do you still actually have like any kind of like retirement plan?
No. My accountant could be ripping me off. I don't understand investments very well.
No, but also like.
But yeah, do I save money? I believe I do.
No. Forget about the financials.
Yeah.
I'm talking about actually what you want to do.
An exit strategy?
No, just what you want to do to make you happy. Like, do you want?
Do you
want a garden?
I do. Yeah.
Do you want a garden? That's what I mean. Like, do you want to tend flowers?
Yeah.
I'm not talking about any kind of financial incentive.
I see.
Like, what do you want to do in the twilight of
I would
your
like
life?
to be able to sit around with a big family and sometimes sit around with a bunch of comics the rest of the time.
Yeah, but if like you've been around grandpas.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody likes hanging out with grandpas.
I loved hanging out with my grandpa.
Yeah, but sorry. I was like, yeah, but you did. Do you actually want to hang out with your grandpa? Like most people, when you actually watch them, it's like, old people are old people. And like, how often did you hang out with your grandpa?
All the time, best friend.
Really, every day?
Every day.
Or like for real?
We lived together.
It's fucking awesome, actually.
No,
I'm
my childhood was very lumpy. So.
Oh, really?
So my parents passed away when I was a teenager. So
How old were you?
grandfather. I was 14 and 19.
Oh, so it wasn't like they weren't together.
Right.
It was it...
One was sick and one was stupid.
Accident?
Drugs.
Accident. Yeah. I was being polite.
So, my grandfather stepped in to become a very vital person in my teenage years.
Yeah.
And even after that, after college, we moved. We lived together for a couple of years. I took care of him when he was sick, and he was very encouraging with me starting comedy. Jack. Pop Jack. Great guy.
That's
the best.
great.
Big hands, big catcher mid hands.
Was he like a big dude?
Yeah. No, he wasn't even that big, but he kind of looked like your gnome out there. He had this kind of this big face, this big cheeks and barrel chest, and I got stung by a cactus, but normally I have his ring on, which is a steel bolt from a submarine from World War II, a Nazi submarine that they took apart. He was in the U.S.
He fought in the war?
Guard. Yeah. He was in the Coast Guard, so I don't know how much fighting he did.
No, it's actually one of the 5.
But he stayed in Baltimore mostly and worked on these ships and repaired stuff, and I guess the Navy at some point captured a Nazi submarine. And the story goes, and my Pop Jack, Emmanuel was his name, he took this bolt and he like softened it out and he made a ring that he wore his whole life. And then right when he died, he had told me before he died, said, take it off, right after I died, take it off. And I did, and I wear it.
How old were you?
I was about 24 when he died.
Yeah. And you still have it?
Yeah. I wear it all the time. Well, to prove it, you can see is not wearing it, but you can see the outline right there.
I can see where the sun has not hit your finger.
Yeah. I had to take it off because for some reason I went to say hi to it and I clipped the cactus. It's been a week and a half and it's still swollen. So I
just got 2 new cactuses this week in the house. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. They're one's in the office.
They're a lot of fun. Be careful though.
Yeah, believe me, I am. But also, it was my my mother-in-law. Even though me and the lady aren't married, but she's my mother-in-law.
Yeah. Now the animals, they won't bump into these prickly cactuses and get hurt.
No. They're all like one's in the office and one's like being brought outside. But they all have bunny ears. It literally is just a circle and then just 2 little shoots that do look
cute.
And so, she grew these bunny ears cacti.
Oh, that's cute.
So
you got a maid, Mac. You got a maid.
Honestly, she loves cleaning the house. I think.
Really?
I think she actually likes this house more than she likes her own house with her husband and everything like that. She loves coming over here, and
you got a future mother-in-law that you actually like.
Yeah.
And
she brings succulents and cacti and everything.
Really?
Yes. There you go. Let's see.
Will you come to the Alec Baldwin roast? You should come.
Yeah. When is that?
In September.
You just do it. Yeah. Record it in September.
Yeah. It'll air a week later.
All right. There you go.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Okay, do you actually write jokes for other people during the roast?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, do you kind of come together and kind of, just fill up people's papers?
Well, people will run stuff by me, or, we have a big staff that works with all the talent to make sure everybody crushes it. You want all the guests to do well.
Yeah.
Every now and then somebody doesn't, but it's their own fault.
I mean, are you kind of heading like that writer's room?
No, I'm not the head writer or anything like that. I'm a executive producer on the show.
Okay, there you go. There it is.
Because I worry more about my own performance now. There's a lot of pressure on me.
Yeah. Well, it's like the Hollywood Squares thing, where it's kind of like they would have like two answers, and you have Bruce Valanche writing the jokes or something like that for them.
Our show, I love Bruce, and I've worked with.
Oh, Bruce is amazing,
and I've been on Hollywood Squares, but the roast is a different thing. The roast is a cultural moment. It's a blast in that person's career. This is not another day at the office. Like, there's a lot of thought, and I can't say anything yet, but like the people that are going to be on it are going to be really top-notch, talented people.
Yeah, but also sometimes you get like curveballs of people who are kind of are comedic actors,
yes,
but aren't necessarily comedians,
right?
Yeah. So
well, it's fun to see someone's, roast side.
Yeah,
you let your mean streak come out. Mm-hmm. You'd be great at a roast.
Oh, thanks. I agree.
You'd be great at a roast.
All right, fine. I know you want to go home. Hold on.
I'm fine.
Well, no, get the fuck home, because I know you have a gig tonight. You said.
Yeah, I'm at the Comedy Store later.
Yeah.
Are we live?
Yes.
Come on by the Comedy Store.
So this is probably about like 3 weeks
at 11
ago. Yeah.
Can I sign the guitar?
Yes. Oh, yes. So,
Am I the best guest you've ever had?
Ever of all time. With cheese and cupcakes and everything.
Come see me live, folks. Roastmastergeneral.com is where my tickets.
I was just about to look at you. You're plugging yourself. I was going to ask you to plug yourself, and here you are, plugging it.
Thanks for making it so obvious.
Holding it.
Thanks for making it so obvious that I plugged my lousy stand-up. Because I want your fans to come out, and I want you to come to the show.
Yes, and I want your fans. You want my fans. We all want.
And we'll we'll check your improv skills up on stage.
Oh, fuck biscuits. All right. Well, I'll have less wine to drink before the podcast, before the improv.
What are you drinking?
A Pinot Grigio. It's like Pinot Grigio, but from California.
Oh.
Yeah.
2018.
I know.
Oh, big spender.
Oh, what an even year. So, all right. Listen, we're going to send the fuck off. So, anything else you want to plug?
No. Thank me for coming over.
I know. Hold on. I'm doing a thing. Sorry. I mean, believe me, we do some editing.
Look at you. You should put a sign on the door. Pardon my appearance. Yeah. That should be the name of this podcast.
Pardon my appearance. What are you talking about? I look great.
You look like you're coming from a checkup.
Yeah, thank you.
You look like you just were released from a 50-50 hold this weekend.
Well, you look like Moby got sung by a bee, okay? So, yeah. So, we're
yes!
So we're even.
Yes! Thank you for that, man. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I had so much fun.
Voicemail. We're always getting voicemails. You dial 845 Easy E hoax. I said it's 845 Easy E hoax. It might sound dumb, but it's not a joke. It's 845 Easy E hoax. Motherfucking hoax. That's 845-393-4629. Motherfucking hoax.
Macaulay, Mitch in Milwaukee. Saw you were here recently. Thanks for the heads up. Really appreciate the text. Really appreciate the podcast. Doing a great job. Keep up the good work. And try not to suck too many dicks. Tom Green was hilarious. Thanks. Bye.
Hi, Macaulay Culkin. I love you and your podcast. And, yeah.
Hey, Mack. I'm Nick. Just got off work, about to go get drunk. Anyway, later. Suck some dicks, send pics. Bye.
Hey, fuck you too, man. Oh, man, that just felt wrong. Dude, I love you, man. Love what you're doing with the podcast. My name's Quinn, here in Chicago. really cool that you do this and you're so open and just like engaging with the world, and I just think that's brilliant. I love listening to your podcast, and I don't know anybody who doesn't. Keep on keeping on.
Find me, gag me, take me to the bunny ranch.
You are freaking lumberjack!
Oh my God.